Mic'd up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast with my fun and freaky friend Michael Miller. And we have two fantastic guests, friends of the show from the past. We all know them so well, Dr. Joe and Frankie the Yankee, here to participate for whatever that's worth to all seven of you. And thankfully, the eight of you who actually come back and look at us on YouTube.
No. YouTube, we went over 100. We haven't been on for 2 weeks. We went over 100. Not as good as the over 1,000 the week before, but we were at a few hundred again last week.
Was that a Kramer episode that had 1,000?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was not. It was not a Kramer episode.
That horse has ridden away. That I'm sorry to say, we did have one or two shows where Kramer was the star, but then fell asleep in one of the recent episodes, and we have lost interest. People are just worried. They thought he dropped dead.
Yeah, we had people ask if Kramer was okay.
Kramer. But anyway,
they were
love
very
him.
concerned.
Kramer will be back next week, maybe. We're hoping that Kramer will be participating.
It is fantasy camp week, and Kramer on the remote was so fantastic last year that we're hoping he will come back this year and do the same.
Is Kenyon Sturt's going to be there this year? Do we know?
I'm sure.
No, is he? Somebody said he might not be.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, and Kramer's Hall of Fame is riding on him not being there. So
the bribes that are going, the payola that is going on. Kramer's got $5 bills, ready to give out.
Yeah, but they have his face on them. They're not real.
No, those are $2 bills.
Those are $3 bills. So Frankie the Yankee, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in a while.
I'm doing fine. Getting over a little sickness, but I'm fine now. But,
well, that mental illness doesn't go away,
that's lifetime, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And Dr. Joe, nice to see you, Dr. Joe.
Yeah, nice to see you guys.
It's good. Yeah,
happy to be back.
Yes, I know.
Joe, can you turn the light off behind your head, Joe?
You know what? Yeah, let me see if I can turn that off.
When Joe gets alone in the dark, though, strange things happen.
I know. It's just if we turn that light, Joe looks like he's being called by the angels. That's going to be better.
Oh, look at the shadow coming at us. It's menacing. Look at that walk. There he is.
I am your father.
That is actually much better. Holy cow, you have color in your face now.
Yeah. No, Frankie's got a light over his head.
I know.
That's not Frankie, that's an angel.
Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
Are you at the storage facility where your partner keeps all the toilet paper?
Dead bodies?
And paper towels, don't forget that.
Yes, I would imagine, with all the tariffs coming, he might be stocking up again.
He'll never get low. He's always stocking up. But that's another story. Now I'm at my daughter's house. I don't. Did that light bother you? Should I turn it off? But it might not have enough light.
Give it a shot. See what happens if you turn it off.
Go ahead, turn it off, Frankie. While Frankie's doing that, we are going to tell you guys this is our topic for the day. I know we've been. Oh, that's fantastic, Frankie. We are. I know we've talked about it before, and my brother has reminded me, but we're going to break down the Yankees postseason, and we're going to see, are they better or worse than they were at the start of the 24 season? And we're going to go position by position and go through stuff and try and figure out what's been going on with the Yankees. Just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, the player losses from last season are Soto and Verdugo from the outfield, Torres, Rizzo, and Birdie from the infield, Trevino and Narvaez from the catching ranks. Cortez is the only starting pitcher that's gone bye-bye. But from the bullpen, from the end of the season, Holmes, Canley, Hill, Poteet, Tim Meza, Nick Birdie, Marinaccio, and then, of course, Caleb Ferguson and Victor Gonzalez were gone during the year last year. And then as an added fact, we're going to put Caleb Turbin in there as an infielder that the Yankees lost. And if you look at the starting lineup for the Yankees on opening day against Houston in 2024, It was Torres, Soto, Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, Volpe, Verdugo, Trevino, and Oswaldo Cabrera at third base with Cortez pitching. 10 players, 6 of which are no longer on the team. So to say there was roster turnover would be an understatement.
Well, also to say if the Yankees had not done a good job of managing Plan B would also be a mistake. I'm impressed how well they've done with this, and they do have more to do, but they've really, I think you'll all agree, they've really turned around and rebounded in a way. You lose somebody, you lose a generational player like Soto, you better do well. I don't think anybody feels that they are if they are weaker, it's not significantly more so. Their offense is going to need some help, but they're a much more defensive-minded team now, and that's a good thing. What do you think, Frankie? What do you think? You like the Yankees right now?
Well, I think defensively they might be better, but you're not replacing Soto with Bellinger and Goldschmidt at all. I mean, you're losing some bad. You haven't replaced. It's a curse word to say this, but you haven't replaced Gleyber Torres' bat either. So I mean, those are 3 bats. You lost.
If you look at the players lost and the players that they took on, which we'll go through that in a bit, the 2024 combined WAR for all of the players they lost was 17-4, with a projected WAR of similar for them for 2025. And for the players the Yankees took on, the projected WAR is 10.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a loss of 7. But if you think about it, out of the 17 WAR, wasn't like 9 of it Soto?
Yeah.
Right.
So, the only guys that can replace Soto are Judge and Ohtani. Other than that, there's really nobody else that can replace Soto. So you can't say, oh, they're worse because they lost Soto. I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint of outfielders, right? Starting outfield likely will be Bellinger, Judge, and Dominguez, right? Let's just say Bellinger over Verdugo, not an issue, right?
No.
And in 58 games at AAA last year, Dominguez hit 311 with 11 homers and 16 stolen bases. No, he did nothing when he came up, but there's something there, hopefully. What do you think, Uncle Joe?
Well, losing Soto was not a bad thing. I think the Mets are going to have, if they don't have anybody, if they don't have anybody to back him up, the Mets are going to have a real problem. So Santander might be, the one thing that they can get to bat behind him, but other than that, they really don't have anybody, hit behind him. He's not going to have a Judge like behind him. But the guys they got, you talked about Bellinger and Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt, defensively is going to be better than what we had last year, all the way around, whether it was Rice or Rizzo. Rizzo fell off after that concussion that he had, and Williams is going to be certainly a godsend because now you can move Weaver back to 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
And Williams is just lights out. He's going to get 30, 35, 40, even 40 saves. Next year if he's healthy. Now he has some back
Big
issues.
That's
That's the other thing too. Injury is a problem. And picking up Cruz from Cincinnati for Trevino was a freaking steal if they can keep his walks down.
Yep. Hey, listen, regarding the Mets, just to go back for a second, I think they're going to get Alonso back to sit behind him, and Vientos is a hitter and stuff like that. So I think the Mets will be fine. But as far as the Yankees go, I mean, if you look at the infield, right? Last year, starting infield, Rizzo, Torres, Volpe, with DJ and Cabrera as the third baseman. This year, it's Goldschmidt, a full season of Jazz, Volpe, and Cabrera Peraza, right? Defensively, whether Jazz is at second or third, defensively, that defense is going to be better than it was last year. Volpe's solid at shortstop. I don't think he's Gold Glove caliber, but he's solid, even though he won a Gold Glove. I think Peraza's a stud no matter where you put him defensively. The question is, can he hit? And Cabrera, the question is, can he hit as well? And Goldschmidt's a very good fielder. And from an offensive standpoint, a full season of Jazz, I think that a full season of Jazz is replacing Torres. If you look at it like that,
True.
Jazz and Torres are a swap. Now, granted, they had Jazz and Torres at the end of the year. So the question then becomes, does Goldschmidt become the bat that replaces Torres?
Mm-hmm.
I think he should be able to do that or come close to it. And he's not going to be the mental eggplant on the bases that Torres was. So I think from that standpoint, the infield is okay. Do I think they could use another infielder? Absolutely. I mean, anybody who thinks going into the season with Cabrera and Peraza as your fourth infielder, whether they're at second or third base, knows that. I also think, being that it's the Yankees, assuming he doesn't get hurt, I believe at the heart of hearts, the starting third baseman on opening day is going to be DJ LeMahieu because it's the Yankees and that's what they do. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's a leadoff hitter on opening day.
We're going to start hearing. We're already beginning to hear the old. He's having the best spring. He looks like $1 million. He lost 400 pounds. He's been working out his muscles, legs are in great shape. His feet actually work. We're going to hear everything, and that's going to be the buzz. And the Yankees do that every year, first to placate the fan base, but also they always know that's a way they can spark some trade interest and hopefully not get raked over the coals. But excuse the pun. But I do think that that what worries me about I don't see Cabrera as an option. I just don't. I think we've seen the game already. We've seen it all. He's very good in short increments. I like him when he comes off the bench. I like him being for flexibility. I don't want him on. He'll run out of gas. Something happens and he stops hitting. His fielding is fine, but he's not on base to create any damage, any impact. So I don't see it. I think if you're going to do that, let him be your 26th man. Let him be the guy who's rotating around the field whenever necessary, and give Peraza, give him a real shot. They have not given him a real shot. He hasn't earned it. But listen, I remember a little second baseman named Robbie Cano, who was hitting in the 260s and 250s at AAA when he came up. Everyone said the same thing. He's okay. He's got talent, but he's never really put it all together. Look what happened. Within a year, he was the best second baseman in the league. So you never know. Give him a chance.
Now, never mind the Peraza and Volpe were battling out for the starting job. I just think Cabrera should never be allowed to bat right-handed. That's the bottom line. He's a good hitter. I mean, he's not a good hitter. He's an above replacement level player left-handed. So he should never be allowed to bat anything but left-handed, and he shouldn't be playing against left-handed pitching. But the bottom line is I don't disagree. I think, ultimately this is the spot that the trade deadline is where the Yankees will make their move, just like they did for Jazz last year. They'll make the move there. What do you guys think there, Dr. Joe?
Well, Cabrera last year, he pretty much gave up hitting right-handed. Even against left-handers, he was actually in there a few times against left-handers because he didn't feel confident, hitting right-handed against even a left-hander. So, platooning him with Peraza at third, not a bad idea, or even second. I'm still haven't given up that Jazz can't play third base. He's got the best arm in the infield. I mean, he's got a freaking gun. And now is playing second base is, there's a lot of throws from second base, and it's 90 feet over to first base. But across that diamond, man, that's a long throw. You guys have played third base, and
Joe,
I tried playing once, but man, it's a long throw, and he's got a freaking gun for an arm.
Joe,
So
he was about, I think I read 8 above replacement, of or whatever the term is for fielding stats.
Run saved.
8 runs above, saved above. I mean, that's from a guy on novice. I mean,
right.
Granted, it was a small sample size. It's only about, what was it, 50 games, 60 games altogether. 60 games. It was amazing. I think the guy's got. They think that he's an athletic enough guy to do a great job over there, and he'll give them, he'll give them 25 home runs from the left side. What more do they want? I think he'd be
40
perfectly good.
plus 40 steals.
Yeah, I mean, I
40
love the
steals last
guy.
year.
I think that he's great.
I
I think
think
that
he
they
should
just
be
need to show him how to do certain things. It's a nuance that he didn't. He doesn't know certain things because he can't. He doesn't have instincts yet. But I bet he's working out there, smoking a little bit, lighting up a little bit, playing.
I love that. That was great.
He's ready. He's ready. He's feeling good.
All that was missing is he wasn't out on the porch with some chairs at fantasy camp.
That's right. So he's. So I think that. I'm real happy about that, man. I think he's going to be great.
Everybody wants him to play second base. He hasn't played second base
No.
since 22. Most of the outfield with Miami, he was pretty much an outfielder, and
After his first couple.
And some shortstop too. So he's going to have to get acclimated back to second base if they want to put him there. But I'd say put Peraza and Cabrera or this Vivas. Yorbit Vivas. I mean, we'll see what happens in spring training. What are we, 5 weeks away from pitchers and catchers showing up?
Not even.
February 11th. I agree. I think that Jazz is definitely the third baseman, but I think the problem is that our friend DJ is going to be there. Just got a text from Kramer. Surprisingly, he's having trouble leaving a message. Only person that has trouble leaving a message. That's the other half of the issues with regard to Kramer.
He had yes.
Push the microphone, tap it, and then speak for 30 seconds. You left messages last week and then deleted them. So come on, man. Wake up. And Frankie, are you still there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened,
I'm
Frank.
gone.
Turn your camera back on.
It's not on?
You back on?
No, your camera's not on.
Yes, it is.
Well, tap it and start it over.
Oh,
there he is. Yay, Frankie's back.
It was on.
It was. We didn't see you, Frankie. What else is going on with regard to? What do you think? What do you think about the Yankee field situation?
You think DJ is going to play? Then they're not going to go after anybody else. Then, I mean, I was hoping they'd get somebody else in the infield. I mean, I really did. But you really think?
Well, I think it's more important that they get a relief pitcher. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I want a leadoff hitter. I'm all over that. I think you're right. I think that they need somebody to set up, Judge. If they can have somebody who can get on base, 3.8 times. I mean, that to me would be, if they can get somebody like that. I don't care if he hits. That's why I'm not against Arias, because I think that he'll get on base so much that he will. It's going to be.
Who's that?
Luis
Arias?
Arise. I like him.
Arise. Yeah, he got signed. He signed an extension with San Diego today.
They just did it tonight.
Today,
yeah.
They were talking about making a trade with San Diego.
But it's expensive unless you get rid of Stroman. If Hal has that self-imposed salary cap at 301, which I've been looking up to find out where the Yankees are, their projected salary. And it seems like they're right at 301 right now. So unless they can lose some of Stroman's money, even if it's $8 to $10 million per year, and keep him, the team has to keep him on the 140 on his innings. That's the other caveat, is that he's got that option that goes over 140 for next year. But so if you keep him at 27 starts or less, I think he won't get to the 140. But if Howell is not going to go over 301, they're basically done.
They might
I'd like
be done.
To see Hill. You need a left-hander, they don't have a left-hander in the bullpen.
I didn't know he signed. He signed with.
That's
San
today,
Diego.
right?
No, he just signed. He just avoided arbitration. He didn't do anything.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, it was an arbitration.
He settled for $14 million.
Oh,
so did Dylan C. settled for $13.75. That's all that happened.
Okay. There was talks that they were going to trade Stroman and Will Warren and cash for him. But
there was an article that said the Yankees were going to give up cash, Warren, and
that would have been great. I mean, great leadoff hitter. Not a great second baseman, but
He's not a great leadoff hitter. He's still only, for a guy who hits 320, he's only got a 350 on base.
Yeah, but
I think one thing that about Stroman, just getting back to that, you mentioned something before. The Mets are going to be, maybe the Mets will be fine. They've got great shortstop. They're probably going to get Alonso back.
Oh,
Their
sure.
offense is probably not the issue. I don't know what they're doing for pitching over there. They
Clay
do
Holmes.
not.
Clay Holmes. Why? They've got starters.
They're okay. They don't have a legit number one. And I bet at what point are they going to come? They love all the Yankees' old pitchers. When are they going to come up to Stroman? He's pitched there before already. He's already pitched for the Mets before.
And that's a good for him. I mean, San Diego's a good state. Stroman needs to pitch in a bigger stadium.
He's going to come back. That would be a great place for him.
Stroman's stats away from Yankee Stadium were very good last year.
Yeah.
And if you look at the contracts that are going out to the pitchers right now, look, Kramer got in. The contracts that are out there, Morton signed 1 year, $15 million. Morton's stats are eerily similar to Stroman's. Verlander, who was hurt and got 1 year, $15 million. So, guys are signing fourth and fifth starters for anywhere from $12 to $18 million. Stroman's $18 million. If the Yankees can take on $6 million or $8 million of his money, he becomes a $10 or $12 million fourth or fifth starter. That's a good, decent value for another team. For the Yankees, it's not. The Yankees need to get rid of the $10 million that they're paying him. Sports Track has the Yankees only at 281 right now, with estimates for all their arbitration players. So,
yeah, but I don't know if that's accurate though, because Fangraphs, Boston Resources, they have them at 304.
Yeah, Fangraph has them estimated luxury tax payroll at 302. I have that one up as well.
Yeah, well, I think it's 304 with projecting the arbitration eligible guys. And there's 6 guys that are arbitrate. Oh, Brubaker settled for 1.82, and Efforts
and Jazz settled today.
Signed for $900,000.
And Jazz signed for 5.85.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, who's projected for 6.9? Wow, yeah. He went down.
He went 5.8. Wow. He signed today.
He did. Okay. So it's just Leiter, Schmidt, and Williams. They got to close on.
And Williams is going to be expensive.
And then they're going to bring back Tim Hill. I think they like Tim Hill a lot, so they'll get him. He'll be the number. I think that deal is probably already done. Watch.
Listen, if they're not below 301, they're not doing anything. So, we'll see what happens with regard to that. They got to get below the self-imposed 301. They project Evan Williams at 8.4. I think that right now, if the Yankees are smart, they figure out how to settle with him, because clearly the reliever market is dead right now. But none of the relievers have signed. So. Kramer, so Kramer got in. Let's listen to Kramer. We'll get to Kramer when we talk about relievers. But on the infield, Frankie, they do need another infielder. But like we said, they go into the season with Cabrera, Peraza, Jazz, Volpe, and Goldschmidt. Are they better or worse than last season?
They are better because they're.
Well, Frankie, you're throwing your voice.
I'm sorry. Frankie, I'm sorry.
Well, no, they're better because the defense is better. They don't have Glaber, but Glaber still had a good bat.
But does Goldschmidt replace that?
Yes, but Goldschmidt hit more home runs than Glaber did last year too. So, if you equal that, those two, yes, Goldschmidt's better. A better bat.
And then third base is a wash. Whatever it is a wash. Volpe's a wash, obviously. First base is an upgrade, and Jazz is Jazz, and Jazz will be better.
We'll have him the whole year too. So
yeah,
we didn't have him.
We didn't have him opening day, and isn't this Jazz's last year of arbitration? So he's in a walk year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
I think that they are substantially better in some ways that really annoy us. As fans, they had a very top-heavy, one-dimensional team last year, and now they're going to have to do more. They're going to be smarter on the bases. They've got legs now. Some guys that can run. They've got, they're going to be focusing. Hopefully, they're going to be focusing more on putting Jazz and he says he's got another year of control after this. Hopefully, we'll be putting Jazz and Volpe in motion a little bit more. It seemed that Volpe started off great, a lot of steals, and suddenly maybe stopped hitting. But I'd like to see them think more about becoming more of an on-base percentage team. Getting on, keeping smart at bats, less focus on home runs, and it would be nice to see it. But we'll see. We'll see if they can do it. But what I like most about them is pitching staff is better, substantially better. We know the bullpen is better. We've taken a lot of pressure off of Rodon to have a better year this year. Hopefully this year, when he's not stressed about – think about how he came into this season. The stress that was on him to do well. Now, we've seen that he has flashes of good, but not consistent. Number 3, number 4 will be great for him. Let's focus on Freed being very strong in the bullpen as well. And you've got more of a run defense mechanism instead of this all about your at bats. Less stupidity on the base bats, and maybe we'll actually have a team that will be better than last year. That's my feeling. I certainly think they're not going to be annoying us as much as last year and in previous years. Don't you think?
Frankie?
Well, getting rid of Glaber is a big thing. You got him off the bases. But I was still hoping they'd go after Bregman, but I guess they're not going to.
You got to remember, if you go after a guy like Bregman, then you're saying next year when you have money available, we're not going after Tucker. And Tucker should be the
That's
target
true.
next.
Yeah. And I think the Tigers and the Red Sox are heavy on him right now, Bregman. So the Yankees aren't even in the conversation. So I guess they're out.
Yeah, and the Yankees shouldn't be in this conversation at all. I like Bregman as a player. The problem with Bregman is length of contract.
Well, what if he needs to sign? What if he doesn't have a place to go when they can get him?
Well, he go. I'm surprised Boston's not. I mean, he's a perfect fit for Boston. He's got the monster, which will be essentially like the Crawford boxes down there in Houston. So, Boston, I'm surprised have not popped on him.
Well, Boston, despite the fact that they are not a small market team, they don't seem to want to spend the money, and they're still flirting with Arenado. And if they pick up Arenado, their best player, Devers, is already a third baseman. Do they move him across to first base? Although Devers said he would. Devers said if Arenado comes, he would DH every day and wouldn't bat an eye. But then they also have Casas, who they love over first base, who's cheap and good.
They'll trade him. If that happens, they'll trade him.
Right, but at a certain point in time, you've got to figure out: do you want your own? They were talking about signing Bregman and moving him to second base in Boston.
I would do that.
Yeah, they're still talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, the two guys left standing when the music stopped right now were Bregman and Alonso, right?
No.
Alonso and Bregman both had good offers, not fantastic offers, from their teams. Houston, what'd they offer him? 6 and 1. Would they offer him 6 and some number? Because that's all the Astros would offer. And
Mets offered him 180, right?
Yes, a little more than 180 it was, but it's 6 and 188 or something. And Alonso was 5 and 138 or something like that, or 6 and 138. And they both said no. And now they're both left. When the music stops, they're the two without the chairs.
Well, did the Mets really offer him that little?
The Mets offered him before the season last year. Maybe I don't remember what the offer was, but it was
I thought it was closer to 160 or 180.
It was near $30 million a year.
Wow. And now that's off the table. I would think.
Depends. I mean, you can't really sign, if you're the Mets, you can't sign Alonso for longer than 5 years because in 5 years, Soto's your DH. Soto's going to be a DH at 31, 32. His body is thickening, let's just say, very much like Torres. His body is thickening.
Did you see him at the press conference? Doctor, someone's been eating pasta. Enjoy it.
They say the guy's going to hit until he's 87 years old. He's going to be the only guy ever to be a fantasy camper and a major leaguer at the same time.
And an old timer.
And I don't mean a fantasy camper. I don't mean a fantasy camper coach. I mean player. He's going to be a fantasy camp player and a major league player at the same time.
Who was the Mets cat pitcher who was like 1,000 pounds?
We had Mickey Lola,
Cologne.
Cologne, yeah.
He was a Yankee pitcher too.
That's where I think we're going to see. It's going to be funny watching him grow in the.
I have news for you. I don't care. My perspective on the contract is.
You annoy me with this.
What I'm saying. Well, I wasn't going to go down that road. I wasn't going down I don't care about the Mets road. I was going to say I don't care how long his contract is. I think 15 years down the road, he's going to be hitting 290 to 310 with 25 to 35 home runs and a 400 on base percentage. That's all I was going to say. You get annoyed because I'm indifferent to the Mets, which I think is worse than hating the Mets because I just don't care. I just don't care. The Yankees made an honest effort to sign him. I'm very surprised that the Yankees offered as much as they did, but he's with the Mets. I don't give a flying Walenda about the Mets, except when the Yankees play them. I just don't care. Don't care. It's like the New York Giants. I'm a stupid Jets fan. I don't care about the New York Football Giants, except for when they play the Jets.
There is not an episode where you don't mention the New York Football Giants.
Exactly.
Right? Not a single episode. We have never had a show here where you didn't.
That is my tribute to Howard Cosell, the New York Football Giants. So yeah, but I don't have any. I am indifferent. It's not like hockey where the Rangers have to play the Devils and the Islanders all the time, and I can hate them and yell Potvin sucks for 50 years like I have. It's not anything like that. It's indifferent. I don't care. It's the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference.
That's right.
I have a question I want to ask the I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
No, I was going to say, so you guys looking at different than Joe and I look at Soto's lasting 15 years. Joe and I hope we last 15 years to watch it go bad.
Well, Joe is already 106, so he looks great. I don't see why you're picking on the guy. He looks fantastic for his age. He's 106 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
As they said in Coming to America, Joe Louis was 106 years old when he fought Frank Marciano.
Oh, Tommy typed in here.
Oh, Tommy! All right, Tommy Mattone. We got to give Tommy Mattone. He's become a regular contributor.
Let's
see what Tommy Mattone has to say. I have a feeling he's picking on me, but that's all right because I love Tommy. There you go. Tommy Mattone jumps right in.
First of all, Miller, Potvin never sucked. That's number one. Number two, it's great to see you all together again. It's a lot of fun to watch the River Dogs come together and talk about a lot of nonsense that doesn't really matter in our lives to begin with. But I love you all.
There you go, Tommy Mattone, everybody.
There you go, Tommy.
That is a Tommy line.
That is great. It's speaking of not caring. All right, so we're here, the four idiots with no inside information whatsoever, right? Four idiots, and you look online and you look in the papers, and you got Heyman and Sherman and all these guys who are supposedly all these insiders, and their crap is crap. It's crap. I mean, I love watching the Fireside Yankees guys because they have no inside information either, and they're entertaining as hell. But they have as much inside information as us. It's all speculation. John Heyman is allegedly one of the best baseball writers on the planet, and yet he's making crap up. I mean, come on. These guys are supposed to have inside information.
Who has the inside information is Flaherty with the Yankees, at least.
Oh, Flaherty. I can't stand his.
No, I know you don't like him. Actually, he's not bad broadcasting, but at least on his post-game shows. But
I think
he seems to have what the Yankees. He knew that Soto wasn't going to come to the Yankees. I mean, he came out and said it. He's not going to come to the Yankees, and it turned out.
Well, Michael Kay said that too. Michael Kay said he's going to take the biggest offer.
Michael Kay, I listen on 880 AM, New York, ESPN. I listened to him today.
But he said Soto wasn't coming back because he was just going to take the biggest deal anyhow.
He was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Colin
well,
was
I mean, that's
sad. Get outbid. There's no way he was going to get outbid.
No, he wasn't. But the Yankees offered a fair trade. So,
I think the
so
Yankees decided. I think the Yankees knew all along. I think this is all strategy. I think the Yankees knew all along he was going to outbid them, that he was going to go at all cost, and they just rided it up. I don't think they ever expected him to accept
they
that
did
offer.
to the Mets what people do to the Yankees. What's the big?
Exactly.
I think the Yankees pulled the Yankees.
Yes. So, all right. So let's look. Next thing to look at is the catching. We'll do this really quick. Last year they went into the season with Trevino and Wells, with Wells being a somewhat unknown, and this year they're going into the season with Wells and J.C. Esquera, Alex
No.
Jackson, Jesus Rodriguez. Who are they going in there with as the backup?
Right. I back up Rice. Put him in a
No.
if Goldschmidt is going to sit, he's not going to play more than 130 games. At first base. He's not going to be he's going to be an everyday first baseman if he's healthy. But Rice turned out to be a decent first baseman. He didn't hit well, but let me tell you, when he went back to in AAA last year, he might be a quad A player. You just never a quad player. A 4A ball player. But he had 400 last year on his
return.
no. Let's see. I have it written down here because I looked it up because I'm thinking they already have him, and he's going to make the minimum. He's going to make $760. So why not keep him there? And he's a left-handed hitter. I know Wells is left-handed as well, but I don't think it really matters at this point. So I don't think you need a right-handed batter to platoon with Wells, because Wells is going to probably catch 130 games as well.
As he should.
Between first base, when he's not playing first base, he can catch or sit on the bench, be a bench player. So, I think they already got a catch. They already got a catcher. I mean, he came up with the catcher.
I think Rice is going down. I think that he needs to go down and get. I think he could come back by middle of the season, but he needs to go back down and catch again. I think you can't go into the season with him as your backup catcher. He didn't catch for more than half a season last year, and your offensive stats for him were his OPS at AAA was over 1,000. I mean, he was fantastic at AAA.
Yeah.
And he was at over 900 at AA Somerset. I mean, he played at 3 levels last year, double, triple, and major leagues. But he needs to go back down and catch and get some time catching and then bring him back up. They allegedly like Escarrero, whatever his name is, and Alex Jackson is the guy they got with the Cruz deal. He's a pure defensive play. So maybe
I don't think it matters. I don't think we need to. They've even thinking about who it's going to be. They're going to go down. They're going to make it an open spot. They're going to give somebody. It's a perfect spot for a spring training battle of the catchers, and they'll pick whoever's having the best spring, and they'll keep they've got such catching depth throughout the minor leagues. Their feeling is going to be they'll always be able to fill that hole with somebody, and God forbid they have to trade for somebody, they will. But I think that they're fine. They're not going to make. I don't think we even have to talk about it because I think that it's going to be the Yankees have no idea now who it's going to be. It'll be played out in the games in March. What I am happy about is that they got rid of Trevino. I thought that deal was spectacular. It was an amazing choice. They needed to dump him. Hitting was not the problem. He was never a good hitter, but he was clutch. He had moments. But his problem was he couldn't throw anybody out anymore. I mean, it was a joke. Remember how we felt about him during Cleveland? We were petrified that the Yankees were going to put him in with Kwan would have been running like Kwan would have stolen second, third, and home all in one play. It was scary. So we don't want anywhere near him. He's perfectly fine. Go frame somewhere else, okay?
Yeah, I think Escarra is going to be the guy. The guy had a great year at AAA last year. He's not young. He's 29. So he's the ideal age for a backup catcher who's going to play 25 games. And then at some point during the season, Rice could end up coming back. But then you get to the rotation, okay? So last year, the rotation was Cortez, Schmidt, Stroman, Rodon, and Heel. But Heel was only in the rotation because Cole was hurt, right? But Heel pitched as well as Cole could have pitched that whole first half of the season.
The first half, he saw Young.
Yeah. So this year they go in with Cole, Fried, Rodon, Schmidt, and Heel with Stroman as the number 6. That's a significant upgrade. I'm sorry, boys and girls, especially if Cole's healthy.
And I will bet I'll bet $1
Yes,
that
Watermer.
Stroman will not be on the Yankee team come opening day.
You
He will
really?
be traded when somebody gets hurt. Somebody's gonna get hit in the head with a ball. Somebody's gonna drop dead on the mound. Something bad's gonna happen to somebody, and they're gonna need an arm. And
How do you know it's not going to be the Yankees who need that arm?
Could be, but if that's the case, it's possible. But my feeling is I'm banking on the fact that he's going to go somewhere else because they want to clear that salary.
Right, but the question then becomes, who's the Yankees' sixth starter? Will Warren, Clayton Beeter, Gomez?
That's what minor league depth is about.
Yeah, and they don't have much of it.
Someone's going to come up.
They don't have much minor league depth in the starter. I mean, I think Stroman should be gone too. Don't get me wrong.
Stroman is not going to do well sitting on the bench or in the. I don't think he probably doesn't have any.
No, he's got no options.
What are they going to do? Put him in the bullpen? I mean, he'll be miserable out there. So they've got to get rid of him. If he's not going to be the top 5, he's going to be a big. It's going to be a big zero sitting on the bench. Might as well dump him. So he's going.
What do you guys
think? Barring no injuries. Barring no injuries, and I'm always concerned about injuries, especially in starting pitching.
You freaking doctor! You're always ambulance chasing.
You got to remember, Cole had that elbow issue. He didn't pitch his first game until June 17th last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Fried had a back issue. He's had a back issue before, and he was out last year. Definitely, 15 days, maybe even a month. He was out. Heel has been healthy. But then again, he's 1 year removed from coming back from Tommy John. So, you just never know. As far as who's the other pitcher? Rodon, he's been healthy. I think he made 32 starts.
He was fine last year.
Every one of his starts.
Yeah, 32 starts, 175 innings.
Yeah. So, I'm Cole. I'm still a little concerned. We'll have to see what he does if they baby him through spring training. If you start to see him not throwing until the middle of March, they're concerned about his arm.
I agree. I mean, they have Chase Hampton. Chase Hampton's on. He's right now. He's not on the 40.
Schmidt was down for 6-8 weeks.
Yeah, Schmidt was down.
I think that was more of a leg. Was that no? That was an oblique.
Yeah, whatever it was just. Yeah. I mean, they have a couple of pitchers that are on the verge of having to be on the 40-man roster. And Gomez was really good in the minor leagues as a pitcher. So, we'll see what happens. But, they don't have as much starting depth as they did because they've traded away guys, whether it's King or Thorpe or, Cortez. But
Holmes.
I at this point, they still got to get rid of Stroman. Frankie, what do you think?
Oh yes, I mean, if you put him out in the bullpen, he's going to become a cancer. I think. I don't think he's going to. He's not going to handle it well. I mean, really do. I mean, I think it's a waste. I think you get rid of him because he's not going to be a 6 starter. I don't believe it's good for the team either.
No, I mean they've got these guys that are down in minor leagues that are not even on the 40-man. Zach Messenger was at Double-A and pitched 25 starts.
Is Beeter
Clayton Beeter? They love Clayton Beeter, but the guy can't stay on the field, and I don't.
He can't stay healthy. But they love his fastball.
Hey, they love. Did you see? So I saw the Fireside Yankees, another podcast that I like. They went crazy. All of a sudden they started showing Brubaker stats from when he was on the Pirates, and he's got a ridiculous curveball slider combination.
Uh-oh.
So it's possible Brubaker actually is something. So we'll see. All right. So Kramer has some thoughts. Yeah. Kramer has some thoughts on the bullpen. I think we should let him in, and then we'll shoot him down because I think what he's going to say is stupid.
Hey guys, K-Dog here. I like the Yankee moves during the offseason. There is more work to do. They need 2 left-handed relievers and a backup catcher. As far as another infielder, if the right infielder is available, they should do it right away. If not, then I understand it could wait until middle of the season before the trading deadline. See you guys.
Okay. So I'll comment on his 2 left-handed relievers. Yes, would it be ideal if the Yankees had left-handed relievers? Yes, it would be ideal. However, they're going from a bullpen last year that was not a strikeout bullpen to Williams, strikeout guy, Cruz, strikeout guy, Weaver, strikeout guy. So they've got 3 guys that are strikeout guys for sure that they didn't have. And for some miracle reason, Loizaga comes back to what he was, strikeout guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they all of a sudden have strikeout guys, and it doesn't matter for most of those guys, lefty, righty. So
Definitely.
I don't disagree. I'm with you. And we have
So do
again
I.
another thing from K-Dog.
Yeah.
We have 2 from K-Dog.
yeah, let's. All right. So K-Dog has a comment about the stupidity of the Yankees. This one I think is intelligent.
Hey guys, K-Dog here. Another thought is it's incumbent on the Yankee coaches to get the most out of the players. With the speed element that Chisholm and Volpe both have, and with their willingness to learn, the coaches should teach them how to be selective enough where the on-base percentage is acceptable enough to be a leadoff hitter. That would be a great help to the team.
Honestly, whoever talked to Torres in the second half of last season is the guy that needs to talk to Volpe and Jazz. And Volpe was good in the playoffs with on-base percentage, so there's something to be said for that. What do you guys? I agree with Kramer. I mean, I'm mad at the coaching. That would be a reason not to bring these guys back, this coaching staff. Anybody? Bueller?
Yeah. You think
Hey,
the coach?
I don't like. I'm not a fan of them. Are we getting the third base guy again? Isn't he leaving? That was such a disaster. He's gone. So he's gone.
I think he's gone.
Did he get a job as a manager for someone again?
No.
I think he went. Did he go manage somewhere?
He might have gone down to AAA to manage someplace.
Fine, but no. As long as he's not there, I'm perfectly fine. I don't care. Boone needs all of his lovers around him, all of his sycophants, and I'm sure that's what that's about. So I don't think they're changing anybody. But the
So as far as the team goes, with the bullpen this year, with all the guys that they have, all of a sudden this year their bullpen of Williams, Weaver, Loizaga, Leiter Jr., Cruz, Cousins, Hamilton, and Efros. That's not the world's worst bullpen, even though they're all right-handed.
It's an amazing bullpen.
Amazing.
And there's also the unknown of the people. There's always somebody else that's making their way up who they can work. They have some ability to fix these guys. That's why you got to love the move for Diaz, because this guy is
Cruz. You mean Cruz?
Sorry, Cruz. You got to love this guy because they must see something that can be fixed. I bet they just love this. They think that this is the move of the year. I bet
you could, ridiculous stats.
And they're going to think the only problem with the guy is he's 36 years old, 35. He's not a kid. But who cares? Get him. They've got him, and apparently he's got 3 years of control. I mean, for God's sake, what a move!
Yep.
So we'll see. That's going to be fun to watch. But I already see they've already got him down in Tampa, Rob, probably, and they're working on him. They can't believe what they have.
Well, hopefully he's not the speaker at fantasy camp, because then they're trading him.
He'll be an injury. The curse of the Yankee camp.
It's the curse of the Yankee.
Do you really think the Yankee coaches can change somebody? They usually
this guy
make them
does.
Worse.
One guy does.
Okay.
Blake. Blake has
well,
something.
Blake, maybe it's Harkey for all we know. He's been there
Could
forever.
be Harkey. And they all have assistants now. They all have 3 guys now who help them. So maybe it's the staff.
Yeah. Well, with Cruz, they last year you didn't have a strikeout guy. If they needed a strikeout in the 7th inning, it was Weaver. But then later in the season, got rid of Holmes, and he turned out to be the 7th inning guy. But this year with Cruz, I mean, he struck out over 170 innings, maybe in the high 60s.
67,
he's a strikeout guy.
67 and 2/3 innings, 109 strikeouts.
Yeah, you got to watch Statcast and look at his strikeouts. His split finger is so off the charts amazing that it's either the cutter or the splitter, one of the two. But it's so good that you just look at these guys, these batters walking back, they can't believe what they just saw. So if you can, go take a look at each one of these pitches. They're amazing.
They're amazing. He's just that good. So, all right. So I'm going to go around the horn here, see what you guys think as far as with the roster currently constructed. What do you see the opening day lineup being as far as batting order as well as positions?
Oh,
Now,
no,
what do you
batting.
think? And your choice is, what do you think it's going to be, or what do you think the Yankees are going to do with the current roster as it's constructed?
Oh, that's good.
Well, I mean, I'll start it. I don't think they're going to get a leadoff hitter right now. If it stays as it is, I wouldn't be surprised if
The
it's
question, wait, Adam. The question is, roster doesn't change. What's the lineup? Don't say they're going to do this. They're going to do that. Roster does not change. What is the lineup?
Jazz is your leadoff man. I don't know who bats 2. Probably Judge batting 3rd. They like I don't know. I don't have a good feel for it. What do you think?
Way to go, Adam. Way to go out there. Frankie, you got any ideas what you think the lineup is going to be?
You help you put us on the spot.
You put us on the spot. Lineup. I think Volpe be better at leadoff, but maybe not. I mean, I think Jazz.
Dominguez. How about Dominguez?
No. I don't think so. I mean, Jazz can hit. Can hit you 25 home runs. I don't want him leading off. But
so, all right. So I'll go first. You guys figure it out. Unless
Okay,
you got
okay.
Asti. Are you ready to answer the question, Asti?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Asti.
Go.
All right. Position wise, you got Wells behind the plate. You got Goldschmidt at first. You have combination of Cabrera and Peraza at second. You got Volpe at short. You got Jazz at third with, DJ flipping between third and second when they want to play him because he's making $15 million. Unless they cut him midseason, he's going to play. Dominguez in left. Bellinger in center, and obviously Judge in right. As far as lineup goes, I would say if they work with Volpe, like you were saying, how they work with Glaber and turned him into a leadoff guy when he started the season leading off, or Volpe did, but he had his time at lead. I think everybody did. I think if we can get Volpe leading off, Jazz hitting so righty lefty, righty. You have Judge playing batting third, righty, and Wells fourth, and then you got Stanton fifth, and sixth you have Goldschmidt, seventh you have Dominguez, and Bellinger. You can flip flop. I think Bellinger might be fifth or sixth, and leading it off. You might be Dominguez might be batting last. Well, no, Cabrera Peraza would be batting last. So that's my lineup.
So this is what I think the lineup should be, and then I'll give you what I think it's going to be, what the Yanks are going to do. I think it should be Volpe, Bellinger, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Chisholm, Goldschmidt, Dominguez, Cabrera, Peraza. I do think that should be the lineup. I think this is going to be the lineup. DJ leading off and Volpe down into 7th slot. It's going to be DJ, Bellinger, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Jazz, Goldschmidt. Dominguez will be 9th and Volpe will be 8th. And that would be the lineup that I think they're going to start the season with. And it's going to crush me because I so don't want DJ to be on the starting lineup.
DJ's not going to be on the team. DJ's going to retire halfway through spring training. I'm going to say that right now. He's going to say, my feet hurt. I can't move. He's going to be sitting there in the clubhouse. He's going to be miserable, and he's going to retire.
Does he get paid? Does he get paid, and does it count against the Yankees' salary?
No, he'll negotiate a break of his contract because he's got health problems. I don't think he's going to go play.
Why would he walk away from $34 million?
Because he doesn't have any feet. They're going to negotiate some settlement.
Put him on the IL. He said, "Put me on the IL."
I want to ask the doctor a question about feet. Have you ever seen a player who has no feet play well? You remember a guy named Buckner? Bill Buckner. We know what happened.
Buckner was knees.
It was
No, it was ankles. He
Yeah.
had arthritic ankles, and
So
rest in peace.
tell
Good
me
guy.
about what having no feet does to your ability to play this game well and
Well,
often.
that's offensive wise. Your power comes from your lower half.
Yep.
Everybody knows that. So if you don't have your lower half, you can't you become an arm hitter, and then you're a singles hitter. You need your lower half to to power the ball.
Unless
Everybody
you're
knows that.
Stanton.
Stan's
Yeah,
the exception.
They have no
He's the
choice.
exception.
He's still using his lower half, but I mean,
No,
he's
all
a
on.
rock. Yeah.
All
True.
right, so Adam, you ready to go with your lineup now? Now that Joe and I have given ours.
No. I'm gonna pass.
All right, Frankie, the Yankee, you want to chime in?
No, I'll pass too.
Okay.
I didn't write one down. I don't want to just wing it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do lineups. I'm willing to do what I think the fielding will be.
Oh, the fielding.
I thought
Sure,
that's
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm at that position right now because I'm really not sure. I still think they're going to have a leadoff hitter. I think they're going to make a move, and I just don't think if they stay as it is. I really would like to see somebody who can set the table, and I just don't know if they've got any table setters except maybe Volpe. If Volpe can do what he came advertised with, he needs to bring actually, and he hasn't done that yet. He's brought great defense. He's an excellent defender. I don't agree with you. I think he's been a great shortstop. I think he has been Gold Glove. He's made every tough play, but I don't like his bat. I think his bat has been. I think they've messed with approaches with him, and the problem is they've already screwed him up. So if he could just come back and be a singles hitter, he should be more like he should take Arrivas classes. That's what he needs to be. Singles up the middle. That's all they should care about. Now, that used to be DJ, but I don't think he's going to be that guy. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say without a leadoff guy how this order is going to break out.
Yeah. I mean, you might be right about DJ walking away. He seems like he's a proud man. I don't think he'd want to sit and if he can't play. Just my opinion of him. But let me ask you something. Why put Bellinger in center instead of left and have Dominguez in center? Is that?
I agree. I think Dominguez is in center and Bellinger's in left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the other guy didn't play well, and he hasn't had enough experience in left field to be a left fielder, toughest left field in baseball.
I know. After last year, I'd be a little hesitant putting him out there again, but we know he can play center.
Dominguez is going to play center field. I mean, I just think he's going to be playing center field for the Yankees, and Bellinger will play left. I also think that the situation with regard to injuries in the Yankees, depending on who gets injured, Bellinger gives them some flexibility to go to first base if Goldschmidt gets hurt, which again slows down Rice's progress. But it'll depend on what's in the market with regard to what they want to do with the deadline. I think if I'm the Yankees, I would still look to add a bullpen piece. Lefty would be ideal. I don't disagree with Kramer, but adding an AJ Minter or a Seawald or somebody like that on a 1-year deal, if they could dump the Stroman contract to make room for the $7 or $6 or $8 million that would take, that would be an ideal situation. David Robertson would be the best choice, but he's going to command $10 million.
Yeah.
But that's the guys that that's what I really think that they need is more high leverage guys. Efros is going to get hurt. Beater's going to get hurt. These guys get hurt every season. Weisiger is going to get hurt. Not to mention Loizaga. There's something there that the guy doesn't have the head to close, but he has the stuff that he has. So there's a lot of question marks in the pen to me. They are the best team in the division, arguably the best team in the American League right now, even if they make not a single change. So the incentive to make the changes that we're talking about that we all agree they need is low because they don't need to make them. They could wait till the deadline and really adjust the roster accordingly.
Yep.
And,
all right, boys.
Anybody else got anything else they want to say?
No, I want to wish K-Dog and Tommy, if they're both listening, have a great camp next week.
Definitely,
And
yeah.
wish
don't get
we were
hurt.
all. I mean, the four of us were
No
down there with
sliding.
you.
Well, for Kramer.
Yeah.
I
Keep
will
us
say this:
informed.
Kramer when we said about the fantasy camp jinx, and I think it's a men's camp jinx, not a women's camp jinx. But Kramer said the Jazz was at women's camp, but I thought women's camp doesn't
I
start.
think. Was he?
He
Yeah.
said women's camp starts tomorrow, doesn't it? Isn't it Friday, Saturday,
T-
Yeah.
Sunday?
Today, isn't it?
Probably
It
They
tonight.
starts
have a
today. So
Thursday. Yeah, they had a workout last night, and then
Yeah.
they play today and tomorrow, and Saturday they leave. Yeah. Yeah.
they leave on Saturday or Sunday. I thought they stay through to Sunday.
They're pretty much done on Saturday.
I think they're
They
done on
have.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows? Hopefully the weather holds. That's the most important thing because if it drizzles, they don't play.
Well, it's gonna be
No,
cold.
no.
It's gonna be,
Yeah.
gonna be in
No,
the
If it
yeah,
50s.
drizzles last week, the day before, they didn't play.
Oh,
I think
next
that
week
got
are you
high in
gonna
the
have
50s.
a Tuesday show
We
because of?
gotta we gotta coordinate it and see if Kramer wants to do it and
Well, you
see if
got Tommy on the line. Maybe Tommy and K Dog can, you
Tommy.
know, get
Tommy
Tommy. You know,
Tommy
Tommy.
Maton would
Tommy
probably.
would be good. He'll get you
Tommy.
guys.
Tommy has no
Love it.
enemies, so Tommy would be able to get some good guests.
Yeah,
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. We could have Judy do it. Judy would do it.
Oh
yeah,
God, yeah.
yeah. Tommy will get. He'll get Sturts on, whereas
Yes, he
Kramer
would.
won't be able to get Sturts on. Sturts would be fun.
Yes,
So
Sturts would.
Tommy, if you're listening, see if you can. But you're gonna have to set things up ahead of time. If they have that cigar night, I don't know. I haven't heard.
They usually
We'll
have it. They will.
Usually on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, the weather looks good next week. It's supposed to be nice.
No rain.
Monday's supposed to rain, but it's supposed to be nice but cold, like 53 degrees, 57.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But-
Monday's the only chance of rain, and they don't play any games on Monday, so that works out well
But
for them.
anyway, they change every day. Anyway, this weather changes every day. It could suddenly be 80 degrees. You don't even know. So it's crazy.
Yep. Well,
Is Whiskey Joe's back? Do we know if Whiskey Joe's came back? We're hoping. They were destroyed in the hurricane. So
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
don't know.
yeah, they got
Whiskey
badly
Joe.
beaten up, but I think they made their back, and the guys are. I know the
Well,
Carroll boys.
the outside got beaten up pretty bad. I thought the inside was okay, but the outside's where the fun is. So
Yeah, that's right.
All right,
All right,
ladies,
boys.
Thank you.
we are done for the day. Watch for us on YouTube. I know I'm saying this to people who are watching, but thanks to those of you who are participating. As welcome K Dog and Tommy Two Tone, and we'll go from
All right,
there,
guys.
gentlemen. Thank you, and we
Thank
will
you.
speak to you shortly.
Thank you very much.
So long.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, boys.
All right.